Yeah. I want West in I place once more. Yeah, easy. You wanna know where I come from? You wanna know where I come from? I believe. You wanna know where I come from? I don't pan the Middle East, but y'all out the West one give the kid peace. Me step over to pretty Christine, a big broad smile and giggling teeth. Have a brand new 4-5 pretty Christine. We deal with the chica press pretty pristine. Them say them bad but we no intrigue. If you this now you talk them killing increase. And we no join both sides. One West are the best up in no boy. You put a S on your chest when the chrome pint. Every bone a broke when left lone tribe. Make a force right boy if you know your size. Don't see me on the street on a force fight. You get ratchet knife in your throat pipe. Man who make your chop flesh or your ghost rise. Give up the ghost, make it boat wife. Y'all shut up, bend over, pan to a pint. Fuck you, make you get wet like a boat ride. If you hold tight, y'all, me a hold tight. Alright, no later, then more time. We have things to do, but got more fight. No give it the nanny, girl, do a bright. When we shoot the bumbo clad, you grind. That's where we come from. I don't pan the Middle East, but y'all out the West one get the kid peace. Me step over to pretty Christine, a big broad smile and giggling teeth. Have a brand new 4-5 pretty Christine. We deal with the chica press pretty pristine. Them say them bad but we no intrigue. If you this now you talk them. Yeah, them too bad, I just mouth them off, I just slogan. You coulda big and tough like Hulk Hogan. You get your own a bag, you get total. Send your soul to God, their best no God. The whole fucking clip of your own that. No come set, no chop for your own bat. I go get sent off a run postal. Get a PO box. She say me handsome, she want hold me cocky at ransom. She want hood fi broke, she want yam some. She say breed me, give me that one son, boy. We have shotgun, we have Remington, we have Magnum. So if a beef you want, you can have some. Anything we come turn in a phantom. How where we come from? I don't pan the Middle East, but y'all out the West one get the kid peace. Me step over to pretty Christine, a big broad smile and giggling teeth. Have a brand new 4-5 pretty Christine. We deal with the chica press pretty pristine. Them say them bad but we no intrigue. If you this now you talk them killing increase. Increase. You know, yeah, see. I want what's in I building. I know when we come through, just hide the gal them and hide the liquor. Yeah. I want West. We taking over. Yo, Nayata.
Yo, Gucci.
Strap to the bone, chat to me crew. Fire one in a them head, chat to the dome. Them boy they no bad, that a way me know. Only bad when the man friend pop pill alone. Tall rifle a roll under me clothes. One West a run road that a fi be known. Brown in bad bitch, not silicone. Rich badness, fat belly phone. Them boy they no ready for the gun life. Give them a pitchfork and a grum knife. Press the chip clock on the front line. If the road dark, he become bright. Me dog them a killer when a sunlight. We was a transform when it turn night. Chris Kalish cuff we black and white. With the red light on the front eye. Toppy show. Tap about things where you nothing know. Toppy show. Tell taking a me and that a no fi show. Rifle bind them big like puppy toe. A tall rifle a mat we go fi four. Toppy show. Batty boy stop chat when the fuck you know. Thing them ram up in a skin them jam. You get lead poison in an infection. Make your dopey rise quicker than inflation. And the eye cast a living in dead from its inception. That's how the thing been tan. Start off slow, now the thing get strong. I one West and it never take long. Now we a do the road mad injection. Toppy show. Tap about things where you no fi know. Toppy show. Kel taking a me and that a no fi show. Rifle bind them big like puppy toe. A tall rifle a mat we go fi four. Toppy show. Batty boy stop chat where the fuck you know. Them boy they no ready for the gun life. Give them a pitchfork and a gun knife. Press the chip clock on the front line. If the road dark he become bright. Me dog them a killer when a sunlight. We was a transform when it turn night. Chris Kalish cuff we black and white. make the rain fall and the ground dry.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man, if you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one west. They're one west. They're one west. They're...
Hey, Shalom, Yahweh Hashem Shabrakatam to all the brothers, Yahweh Shemal Atan Bashem Yahushai to all the sisters. I'm Priest Officer 500 Barak Yalla with the I.S.U.P.K, which stands for the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Command Angel YAHANNA, you understand? And since 1969, we've been doing nothing but teach you the truth about your identity, your culture, your language, these scriptures, your history, your code of conduct, your constitution, you understand? And in these last days, these are days like never seen before, where the only thing that really matters is for you to be in these classes, is for you to know how to get right. And as usual, I have to remind you, I'm talking about you. I'm addressing our people, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, the real biblical Jews of antiquity, the only people that needs fixing. You understand? Because they are people that are distraught, that are destroyed, are down to the ground, at the bottom of the barrel. You understand? And we'll have a good topic for tonight, because look at the climate around the world. I'm not talking about the weather, right? I'm not talking about it's getting too hot or too cold, literally. I'm talking about spiritually. Good night. Y'all go on the channel I.S.U.P.K Montreal. Y'all check our last clip that we just made. Canada is about to send troops to Palestine. Listen, Commander John YAHANNA, I think there's a clip in 2014. He told y'all from a long time, as prophesied in the Bible, Gog and Magog will get back together, meaning the area of Gog, which is modern day Russia, and Magog meaning of Gog, such as Russia and the territories they used to occupy, which is, you could call it the Soviet Union, are going back together. Everything that's in the Bible, all these prophecies are real. You know what's part of these prophecies that is real? War. The race war, the world war, the civil war, all these wars, you understand, is very real. Salakia is very real, and it's happening before our eyes. So ain't no denying that the Bible is not a fairy tale. Ain't no denying that. But the thing with the topic of the class is a lot of you sisters are going to need some protection. You know, y'all need to stop listening to white people talk about you're a strong, independent black woman. What are you independent from? Talking about you're a strong woman and you support the feminism movement. Didn't you know the feminism movement was never about black women? It never included black women. The only reason y'all were the face of feminism is because you know, white women claimed they needed your support. That's it. The feminism was about white women, for the white woman to have a voice, not the black woman. Don't give a damn about you. Now they're using you to destroy the black man. That's it. That's really it. But times are coming where you're going to realize that that same black man you are being used to destroy, you actually need him. When I say black, I mean blacks, Latinos, and natives. You need that man that you're kicking out the house. You need him. You're going to see that more than ever. Because what's going to happen in these harsh times when the civil war break out? What's going to happen? Oh, you're a strong, independent black woman. You're a black belt in the martial arts. Or depending on the state of province where you at, You know, depending on the area you're at, well, you're allowed to have a firearm and you know how to shoot. Your skill with the sword. Listen, in the times of war, y'all, as a matter of fact, y'all, you know what y'all should do? I'm gonna help y'all out. After the classes, you know what y'all should do? Y'all should watch some war movies. That's what y'all should do. Just to give you an idea, barely give you an idea of what's coming. Watch the movie. It's a movie from the 80s. It's called Thread. Y'all go watch that. Watch movies where, you know, just civil war and chaos is going around. There's a movie. What's the white man name again? Owen Wilson. He's somewhere in Thailand. There's a civil war going on. Y'all go watch these type of movies. Just to give you an idea what's coming to Canada, what's coming to America, what's coming to France, to the UK. The UK just had 100,000 man march to make the UK white again. They clashed with the police. They jumped like over 100,000 people jumped the police. The police cannot even protect themselves. What makes you think you could protect yourself? I remember, was it last year, a couple of years ago? The police, I think it's in Chicago, somewhere over there. They said they're not responding to any 911 call unless someone was unalived. That's crazy, because who's going to protect? Listen, someone's breaking into your house, whether you have kids or not. You're going to need that man that you were told you don't need. Because let's say they don't unalive you. Don't you know our oppressor is a vile monster? Do you know what they used to do to us during slavery? Imagine in a state of panic with all these famines that are prophesied coming, all these plagues. Listen, the white man is a serial unaliver and a serial sexual abuser. What do you think he's going to do to you? You're going to need a man. And even then, who told you did not need a man? Like I said before, you need to stop listening to our oppressor. What makes you think the oppressor tells you anything that would, you know, benefit you, whether it's in the short or the long run? What makes you think that? It's just like the reason why there's so much, you know, black people have so much of a bad rep, Hispanics have so much of a bad rep, natives have so much of a bad rep, is because of the propaganda that is pushed by our oppressor. Now, why is he pushing that propaganda? Is the question. Of course, we know, especially if you tune into the classes in the I.S.U.P.K, we know our oppressor, the white man, is the goddamn devil the Bible speaks of, right? Devil means deceiver. He's a liar. But he's not the only one who pushes such a narrative. All of these heathen nations push narrative against you. Why? Why may you ask? Because you're at war with them. You've always been. These are your enemies. That's what the Bible says. The Bible is calling these nations are against you. They had a whole council. It's like they had a war council against you. That's what the Bible, listen, the Bible says, speak as an oracle of God, right? Let me show you. They had a war council against you. And then we're going to get into why should you even believe that you don't need a man? You should reject that ideology that you don't need a man that was taught to you by your oppressor. You understand? This is how your oppressor gets to destroy you even more. This is how he gets to push the narrative of, you know, black women are promiscuous or whatnot. This is how they dress, this is how they act. Listen, don't you know black women, Hispanics, Native women are the sweetest women on the planet? They're the most compassionate women on the face of the earth. The bad behavior that they have is adopted from their oppressor. That's who they get the bad behavior from. Our women are not whores naturally. Our people, every time you're going to find out every instances where the nation of Israel, the 12 tribes, is punished because they sin by copying the heathens around them. It's not by nature. It goes against our nature, against our moral code. You understand? But let me show you real quick, right, that these nations, they had a council, a war council against you. And this is how they get to destroy you even further till this day. Let me share my screen. Let's go to Psalms chapter 83, right? Let's start at verse 1. Psalms chapter 83, verse 1, it says, "Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace and be not still, O God." You're going to see all the nations right here, right, that we're going to speak about that had a counsel against you. Verse 2, "For lo, thine enemies make a tumult." He's already talking about the Most High enemies. If these are the enemies of the Most High, that means that these are your enemies as well. And your enemies are pushing all the propaganda against you, that you're a criminal, that you're a whore. You understand that you are a narcotics distributor. Like, how crazy is that? We just come out of slavery, poor, don't even have a dime, let alone what 4 acres, 3 acres in a mule that they claim they promised us. We have nothing coming out of slavery, and all of a sudden we're able to just transport narcotics throughout the 4 corners of the globe. That makes no sense. With what infrastructure? Let's keep reading. Let's read again. "For lo, thine enemies make a tumult." A tumult is like making noise, being agitated, like causing a riot, an uprising. You understand? When you read the Bible, you have to understand basic definitions as well as context. A tumult is just being tumultuous. It means you're agitated. That's what it means. It's like causing an uprising, and the enemies of the Most High are causing an uprising. That's being, being rebellious. "And they that hate thee have lifted up the head." Exactly the point of being rebellious. You don't bow down to the authority. You lift up your head and you challenge the authority. Who's the one and only supreme authority on the planet? Is the Most High God. But these nations, they don't give a damn. They worship rocks. They worship themselves. They worship plants and water. They don't care that the Most High God of the living, the only true living God, is the supreme power across the face of the globe. He don't know them anyways. You understand? But they're lifting up the head. Why? Because they're challenging him. Let's keep reading. Psalm chapter 83, verse 3. "They have taken crafty counsel." Listen, they're taking counsel. "They have taken crafty counsel against thy people." They sat down, right? And they figured out, listen, this is how we're gonna deal with the people of the Most High. It's like the Egyptians did. The Egyptians say, yeah, they're getting too numerous. There's too many numbers with the children of Israel. We have to deal with them wisely. That's exactly how the enemies of the Most High did when they sat down together and had crafty counsel against the people of God. You understand? "And consulted against thy hidden ones." It's talking about plotting against the nation of Israel. Right? Verse 4. "They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation." They said, listen, we're going to find a way to erase them from the face of the earth. We're going to find a way to cut them off from being a nation. Why do you think none of these heathens who know who you are is not telling you, yeah, you're the real Jew? It's part of the plan. I mean, even then, when you had, what's the name again of the president? The second president of Egypt, Gamal Abdel Nasser. Even him, he said, well, the people over there who claim to be Jews, but are not, the people over there living in Palestine, will never be able to live in peace. Why? Because they're not native to the land. The Jews left black and came back white. But he never told the whole truth. about so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians are the real Jews. Putin, you know what Putin did? Was it 2 years ago? Putin came out and said he showed the Russian icons that the people in the Bible are black. But did he say the whole truth about who are the children of Israel? No, he didn't. You know, the plan is to cut us off from being a nation. They're not, even for those who know, they're never going to tell you that, yes, you are the real Jew. You understand? They're never going to tell you that. The only way you know that you are the real biblical rulers of antiquity is when you come to class. When you come to these classes, to the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge classes throughout the globe under Command John YAHANNA. You understand? Let's keep reading. That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. That's why they're not telling you who you are. They're gonna damn near make sure that, you know, you're called by all sorts of names. You're a Jamaican. Listen, you're from Guadeloupe. You're from Martinique. You're Puerto Rican. How we're so destroyed in hell, and you're named Rich Port. Imagine that. Puerto Rico means rich port. And the Puerto Rican people are down bad at the bottom of the barrel. How does that even make sense? Imagine being called Native American. America is named after Amerigo Vespucci. Are you a native from Amerigo Vespucci? Are you a descendant of Amerigo Vespucci? Imagine that. And then they give you names like Aztecas, Incas, Mayans, like 3 classes of indigenous, so-called, for lack of better words, Mesoamerican tribes. The white men told you that. Now all the Mexicans are saying, well, we're Aztecs. Why not the Nahuatl? Why not from Tenochtitlan? What else? Why not the Olmecs? Stop going by the white man, by what the white man tells you. This is the problem. We listen to everything the white man says as if it's valid. He says the Bible is a white man's book, so we believe him. Nobody, which Negro proved that the Bible is a white man's book? No one. The white man said that, and now you believe him. Now come to find out, he lies about everything. How do I know? You want here's a perfect example that the white man lies about everything. What's going on in this picture now? So like, bear with me 1 second. Bear with me 1 second. So like technical difficulties. There you go. The perfect example that the white man is a liar is this. Donald Trump said Tylenol causes, what did he say? Causes autism. Listen, Donald Trump is the last person I will listen to for any medical advice. During COVID, he said, drink bleach and you'll be cured from COVID. Like people forgot about that. Now he's saying Tylenol causes autism. What I'm going to tell you is this. The Bible says, was it Ecclesiasticus 38:1, honor a physician? Just go to the doctor. If you're pregnant, you have a headache, go to the doctor. You understand? If you have any worries, go to the doctor. Don't listen to Donald Trump. He tells you Tylenol causes autism. Now you're going to live with a migraine for the rest of your life. That same man who told you drink bleach to cure yourself of COVID. That's how I know the white man lies. You know how I know the white man lies? There's over 150 treaties with the Native American Indians. Whether it's in the United States, whether it's in Canada, none of them has been respected by the British, the French. It don't matter. None of them has been respected. They say we're all equal. They say we're all equal, yet there's a thing called white privilege. Why there's not a thing called humankind privilege? France, the motto of France is equality, brotherhood, what's it? Liberté, fraternité, égalité. Equality, brotherhood, and liberty. Listen, France is a hypocrite. Shalom, says Yahweh Shema, Tabashim Yahweh Shai. What if we're tuning in? Y'all know France is a hypocrite? Because they're getting kicked out of their colonies in Africa. If it's all about equality and liberty, why do you even still have colonies? You're trying to keep a stronghold of your colonies in the Caribbean. Again, just a sidebar, not that we, empathize with the Africans, but just to show you how our oppressor is a devil. You understand? There's a subway, they're expanding the subway station in Montreal, right? The Blue Line. One of the stations is called Vertières, which is a reference to the Battle of Vertières, which led to the independence of Haiti. Guess what? The white man is mad. He's saying, how we're going to name a subway station after the genocide of white people? Good night. You cannot make this up. They're literally telling you, listen, we don't care that you were slaves. This is a bad representation of our history. It represents a genocide of white people. What about the genocide of the Taínos? What about the genocide of the Haitian people? What about the state of Haiti right now, which is caused mainly by France and then US as a bill collector? Canada also has their pockets in the debt that Haiti on the debt that Haiti was imposed on. That's like on the debt that was imposed on Haiti. Damn, they built the whole what you call it, Eiffel Tower with the money they're collecting from Haiti till this day. Listen, France, don't tell me that the white man is not a liar. You can't tell me that. There's nothing but proof throughout the planet Earth that he lies about everything. Again, not to show any sympathy to the heathens. He said, let's go to Iraq and go to war. Let's go to Afghanistan. There's weapons of mass destruction. That may not have been a lie, because that weapon of mass destruction is all the opium they brought over here and had us high on during the 70s. But there was no weapon of mass destruction that they were using to destroy the planet Earth over there. The weapon of mass destruction is the one they made by bringing all that heroin over to America, over to Canada. That weapons of mass destruction was used by the white man against so-called blacks, Latinos, and natives. It was called heroin. You see, when the white man tells you something, you always have to scrutinize it. So when he tells you the Bible is a white man's book, ask them for proof. Because now we have to show to you that the Bible is really a black man's book. It belongs to so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians and nobody else. And if you want to disprove it, listen, message us at ISUPK at isupkmontreal@gmail.com. Message any ISUPK zone and come prove us that the Bible is a white man's book. Until then, I think you should be quiet. But now let's get back to it, because we're showing you that this is the reason why these people are lying and putting propaganda against you, because they're plotting against you. They want to rule over you, all these heathen nations. It's in Psalm chapter 83. Y'all go down the Psalms 83, you will see whether it's the tabernacles of Edom, who would you call Caucasians today, the Ishmaelites, who they know they're Arabs. You understand? The Hagarenes, the Moabites, so on and so forth. All these nations really are against you. And this is why they want you to destroy. This is why this system's put in place to destroy the black family structure. That's why you think you don't need a man. That's why you think you're a strong black woman. You're strong and independent. You're a feminist. That's dumb as hell. Because there is a hierarchy in the Bible that a lot of you Christian women claim to follow. Listen, and if you really don't need a man, a lot of y'all women are saying, y'all married to Jesus. Y'all are married to God. Y'all don't need God or Jesus. Y'all don't need a man, right? If you don't need a man, then why are you saying you're married to God? You don't need him. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 20. Because this will show you that what you're saying is not, how can I put it? It's not, it really is stupid. I'm just put it like it's idiotic. And I'm gonna show you how it is idiotic. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 20. Where is the wise? Where is the scribe? Where is the disputer of this world? What is wisdom? You need to understand wisdom to respond to where is the wise? Where is the scribe? And where is the disputer of this world? What is wisdom in the first place? According to the Bible, what is wisdom? What is the wisdom of the Lord? What is the wisdom of God? That's what you need to understand. If you don't understand that, I mean, it's hard for you to fathom that, you know. It's idiotic for you to not want a man, for you to say that you don't need a man. But what is wisdom? That's what you need to understand. Right? For those who don't know, wisdom is following these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's really what it is. Our wisdom as a nation, right? Because every nation have their wisdom, but is it the wisdom of the Lord? No, it's the wisdom of, what is the wisdom of the Hindus? The Hindus claim that when you die, you have bad karma, you get reincarnated as what? An ant or a snail. When you have good karma, you become a tiger. That's their wisdom. Gandhi was, what's his name? Mahatma Gandhi was a pedophile. And he, you know, but they're teaching that he may have good karma. How is that wisdom? But that's the wisdom of the Hindus. The wisdom of the Hindus is that if you smoke weed, you'll reach higher heights and you'll be able to communicate with a drug addicted God. That's the wisdom of the Hindus. You understand? But let me show you what's wisdom for our people. Who's our people? So-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Here's our wisdom. Let's go to Deuteronomy real quick, chapter 4 and 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me. Right? God told Moses, listen, tell these Israelites, this is the law. He's talking about the law, the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Right? That ye should do in the land whither ye go to possess it. That we will have to observe. That we will have to obey. Verse 6. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and understanding in the sight of the nations. This is our wisdom. Our wisdom is the laws, the statutes, and the commandments. Salakia. This is our wisdom. And it's found throughout the Bible. I mean, if you claim that, you have to show, you know, if it's wise for a woman to say she's independent, she don't need a man, no sweat. Where is that wisdom in the Bible? Y'all Christian women talk about y'all married to Christ, y'all married to God. Where is that wisdom in the Bible? That's it. We need to know, because maybe we're mistaken. Maybe we don't know what we're talking about. Or maybe you should stop listening to white people. Just maybe. You understand? Maybe that's wisdom. But you don't like that. You don't like the fact that wisdom is to not eat pork. You don't like that because you like pork. Wisdom is you lay down with that person, that's for life. You don't like that because you were told that you need to be sexually liberated. Who told you that? The Bible says there shall not be a whore or a sodomite out of the nation of Israel. There shall not be a whore out of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite out of the sons of Israel. So who told you you should be sexually liberated? That goes against the wisdom of the Bible. So who told you that? Ask yourself these questions instead of just spewing out whatever you're told. Let's keep reading. Which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. These nations looking at us like, damn, these are the smartest people on the face of the earth. They didn't have to worry about a COVID breakout from the nation of Israel. Why? Because we have dietary laws. They're not worried about sexual deviance in the nation of Israel. Why? Because we have sexual moral laws when it comes to that. They don't have to worry about anything with the nation of Israel. Why? Because we are wise and understanding people. That's why. You understand? It's that simple. That's your wisdom. Now, let's go back to 1 Corinthians 1 and 20, where it says, where is the wise? It's simple. The wise is the Israelite school of universal and practical knowledge, the only place on the face of the earth where we don't just, unlike the Pharisees and the Sadducees, right, who spoke the law, we follow the law. We live this Bible. We don't just read it. It's not a comic book. This is our constitution. This is our code of conduct. These are the rules to live that we abide by. You understand? 1 Corinthians 1 and 20. Where is the wise? Where is the scribe? Where is the disputer of this world? Has not God made foolish the wisdom of this world? What is the wisdom of this world? The wisdom of this society. That's what the word world means. Society, empire. You understand? Where is it? The wisdom of this world is you could be sexually liberated. This is a nice word for you being a slut. You could live an alternative lifestyle, which is you being a sodomite. The wisdom of the Bible says there shall be no whore of the daughters of Zion, or sodomite of the son of Israel. The wisdom of this world tells you the opposite. The Most High said, you're dumb as hell. That's what the Most High said. Had not God made foolish the wisdom of this world? What's the wisdom of this world? Coming back to the topic of the class again, the wisdom of the world tells you that you are an independent woman. You are a strong black woman. Independent from what? The wisdom of this world tells you that you do not need a man. That's what the wisdom of the world tells you. And then you realize you're raising whores and sodomites. And then you were like, well, if there was a father figure, if there was a man in the house, maybe your daughter would not be a whore. Maybe your sons would not be sodomites and addicts. Listen, then maybe there would not be YNs. Just maybe. Matter of fact, it's for a fact that if there was a man in the house, especially a man of the Lord, you would be protected. Listen, in these days that are coming, you're going to need a man. You're going to need a man. Don't you know that the Bible says a man, what is it again? Is it Isaiah? I think it's in Isaiah somewhere. We're about to pull it just now. That a man would be more precious than gold, than fine gold. Y'all worried about the wrong things. Y'all, because even for those who are looking for a man, y'all really not looking for a man. Y'all looking for a wallet. Y'all looking for a bank account with a beating heart. That's what y'all looking for. Y'all looking for a 5-6 figure bank account with a beating heart. Y'all really don't want a man. Y'all really don't. For those who are looking, y'all looking in the wrong places, because you should not be going with these heathens. Listen, real quick before we get back to the verse, I talked to a sister one time. She was saying she would never be with a black man. She'd rather be with a white man because he's ruling the world, you know, whatever the case is. How many cases of sisters we've seen going with these oppressors and are ending up beaten and battered and unalived? How many? This wasn't in Kentucky. The sister was chopped up. In Colombia as well. A Colombian sister went on a Tinder date. They found her in her Tinder date suitcase. chopped up. You want to date these Ishmaelites? Y'all go to Dubai to get defecated on. That's how they treat you. There's a video. I'm gonna try to find it for this Sunday on our podcast. The Nigerians are saying black women are only good to have sex with. They're not married. They're not marriage. What do they say? They don't qualify for Nigerians to marry. That's how they see you. I know that. I know. I see this Caucasian dude, this Amalekite. Right? He lives in my dad's building. Tell me how the only woman he's going for is the destroyed native sister from the city. How? Taking advantage of them. That is crazy work. You're nothing but a object of pleasure to these nations. And the moment the war breaks out, listen, whichever war starts first, the civil war, the race war, it don't matter. It will be a harsh wake-up call. You understand? The grass ain't green over there. If you think it is, it's synthetic. Our kingdom is being built. Our grass, the seeds of the grass, of the trees bearing fruits, of all the lush green vegetables from the kingdom of the Most High. It takes time for a plant to grow and to bloom, but it's growing. The Garden of Eden is growing. While you are an impatient, while you are impatient, you go for synthetic grass. Listen, it's like, as opposed to, imagine feeding plastic to, yeah, that's what you're doing. You're eating plastic. And then you're killing yourself. Ain't nothing good coming from joining with these other nations. The wisdom of the world tells you that this is how you end racism. You intermarry. You are a strong black woman. You don't need a man, and whatever nonsense there is. The black male is toxic. What is even toxic masculinity? The white man is a serial unaliver. The white man goes hunting all the time. Talking about he's tough and he goes to war. He's big and bad and shooting all the guns, and you know he's what did it say? They have to go to their primal roots. Talking about toxic masculinity, that's more like savagery. Esau is a wild beast. And then you want to talk about the black man toxic masculinity because you keep running the mouth and he tells you to shut up. It's toxic masculinity because he tells you, listen, as a man, we know how man can be outside, especially when they're not in the truth. Good night. With no discipline, so put some clothes on. Here's a better shirt to wear. You know, your skirt is too short. Matter of fact, don't even be wearing a skirt like that. Wear a skirt in the house. Your dress is too short. Your shorts are too short. You know, just simple things like that. And you say, well, he's insecure or he's toxic. That's the wisdom of the world who told you that it's your body, your choice. God said, what does it say in the Bible again? It's got 1 Corinthians 1:20 at the end of the verse. Had not God made foolish the wisdom of this world? Who told you it's your body, your choice? Who told you that? Who told you you should be proud of your nakedness in public? Listen, once you sleep with that man, that nakedness belongs to him. Yeah, every single part, every single bit of it belongs to him. How are you gonna just advertise yourself to the world, to hungry beasts? You're like a piece of Salakia. Like a piece of meat dangling in good night. That's crazy work. You're like a piece of steak dangling in front of hungry hyenas. Hungry hyenas. And you're just salivating. You're like, damn, that's what you are. That man told you, listen, wear some clothes. Because outside it's a dangerous world. And in the days that are coming, oh, good night. Y'all haven't watched Commander John YAHANNA's lecture? You know the first thing that he said, one thing he said, sisters are going to need in these last days, that's really important, is clothes on your back. Commander YAHANNA, y'all go watch his lecture again, the Chicago lecture. One of the most important things that a sister is going to need, whether she has a man or not, because even those who have a man, listen, y'all walking out here damn near. Have you seen Ice-T's wife, Coco, how she was walking? I know she's not a sister, but you seen the outfit she was wearing? Good night. A lot of y'all sisters, that's how y'all want to dress. Because you want to imitate Ice-T's wife, Coco, because you want to emulate your oppressor. The point is, one of the most important things our sisters are going to need is clothes on their back. Not because they're homeless, because they think, you know, they should be proud of their curves and show everybody how sexy they are. Who told you to be proud to walk around naked outside? Who told you that? This is the wisdom of the world that you should be, you know, we should not slut shame. That's the wisdom of the world. Bring back slut shaming. It's for your safety. Now, even for you to listen, when you look at the scriptures, because we always go by the law, it's unlawful for you to be a whore. But even then, put that in perspective. In the times of war, listen, raping is really prevalent. When you're walking half naked outside, it's for your safety, for the safety of our wives, for safety of our sisters, of our daughters, of our nieces. You understand? For the safety of all of our women in our lives. We don't want you to be hurt. We don't. We want to protect you. That's why I tell you, put some clothes on your back. You understand? You're going to want a man of the Lord, not some half sodomite that tells you, yeah, dress like a whore because I like to see your butt cheeks out. You don't want that. You want a man that tells you, listen, put some clothes on your back because I don't want you to get hurt outside. That's what you're going to want. That's what you need to seek. And it's now. That's why y'all need to be in these classes. Why? Because if you're not in these classes, this is what you listen to. Has not God made foolish the wisdom of the world? You listen to these idiots. Listen, your friends ain't smart. Your friends listen to the same idiot you listen to, which is the white man and the white woman. That's really it. But their wisdom is foolish. Their wisdom is made to destroy you. But you know what Christ said? What did Christ say? Let's go to Mark chapter 3, verse 27. The book of Mark chapter 3, verse 27. Christ said this: no man can enter into a strong man's house. Well, listen, it never said into a strong woman's house. Salakia. You're going to need that man so that no man can enter your house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house. And that's what the white man has been doing for years, for decades. They kick the strong man out the house. They make sure he's not there. Now the women are vulnerable. You always want to talk about black women need to be protected, but y'all kicking niggas to the curb because he tells you put some clothes on your back. Shut your mouth, go. Stop wilding out. You never said don't have an opinion. You never say he don't want to hear you. You're talking about I'm a strong black woman, or whatever the case is. Listen, you're just repeating everything that our sisters were taught by our oppressor. he's definitely going to tell you to shut your mouth. Sometimes you need to. Sometimes you just need to be quiet and just listen. Put some clothes on your back and don't go outside. You don't know what's going on outside. You don't know if people are rioting and you think, well, don't worry about me. I know how to defend myself. He don't want to have to say, Lord be with you. Then again, if you love your wife, listen, tell her she has to listen. Ain't no choice. You're gonna see that you're not gonna have a choice but to have a man in your life. Because this is what happened when there's no man. Mark 3:27, no man can enter into a strong man's house. Someone is there to defend the fort. Someone is there to protect the women, the children, the elderly. Someone is there. That someone is a man. And I don't want to hear none of your so-called blackity black talking about, well, our women used to go to war, the kingdom of the homie and whatever. Listen, these are African people and we're not Africans. And that's one kingdom. Our women are delicate women. The Bible even says our women are so delicate. I'm just paraphrasing, right? It's like their foot should not even touch the ground. That's how delicate our women are. You want to if you put your woman on the forefront and use her as a shield, I absolutely believe that you're a sodomite. You know how you should love you? You should be ready to die for her. If you love her, don't use her as a shield. You're the sword and the shield for the whole nation. You should love your woman just like Christ loved the nation. What's that? Ephesians? The point is, it says no man can enter to a strong man's house. It doesn't say no man can enter to a strong woman's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man. He's getting rid of him. He's, how can you put it? He's restraining that man. You understand? That's what to bind is. To bind is to be restrained. How are you restrained? From being in the house. He's prevented from being able to do anything. When you're binded, you're restrained, so you're prevented from doing anything. What tool are they using for that? First, they're using our women, they're destroying the family structure. You know, then there's different laws and regulations put in place, whether it's child support, whether it's, you know, making sure you don't have a job, putting you in jail, brainwashing our women that, hey, these men ain't worth nothing because they don't have a job. Oh, they've been incarcerated once, which is already too many times in their mind. You know, they're putting all these systems in place where you are prevented from doing anything. You're restrained from being able to do anything. That's how they bind you. And that's how they're able to spoil your house, to rob you of your women, to rob you of your children, to destroy your community even further. But no one can enter into our house because there's a strong man in our house. No one can spoil our goods over here. No one can attack our women. No one can attack our children. I mean, Lord be with them, but you know, why? Because they are protected by man. You're going to see it's going to be a horrific time. A horrific time. The Bible says even this, right? When these civil unrest happens, nobody's going to want to go in a city. They're going to be scared to go in and leave the city. There's going to be famine. People are going to want to steal from each other. You're going to need that man, it says. You're going to. Whether you like it or not. And that man, we're talking about a real man. We're not talking about you studs out here putting eyelashes on your chin. What is it? Young Emmett did that? Put an eyelash on her chin to fake a little beard. Now you're going to need a biological born man. That's what you're going to need. Not a stud that looks like Manny Fresh, you know, and that tapes their breast on their chest to prevent growth. You're going to need a man. You're going to need natural testosterone. Read it again, Mark 3:27. No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods. You want to make sure your children are safe, you're going to need that man. And not that little Christian little sodomite wearing purple. Nah. You're going to need a man of the Lord, which can only be molded in the Israelite school of universal and practical knowledge, under commending General YAHANNA and nowhere else. Let's finish the verse and go back to the other verse, right? Except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house. Over here, we're not being restrained, from not being prevented from protecting our family, from protecting our brothers, from protecting our sisters, from protecting our wives, our sons and daughters. You understand? In these last days, you're going to need that man, whether you like it or not. This is not men that are raised in the church. Over here, we're ready to lay down our life for our people. Isn't that what the Bible says? Aren't we supposed to love our wives like Christ loved the church? Let me get it real quick. Let me go. Is it Ephesians 5:25? It says, husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it. The church is the body of Israelites. The church is the congregation, it's the people. It says, husband, love your wives even as Christ loved the church. We're to lay down our life for our wives. You understand? Imagine saying, well, you want to be with a white man that he's not even going to sacrifice you when the civil unrest happens. He's going to eat you alive. Listen, Salakia, there's many instances. Y'all look up. We're going to play that clip on Sunday as well, right? Y'all could look up, damn, I forgot what's it called. We're going to play the clip on our podcast, One West Ground Zero Radio. What happens during these famines? You know, these people resort to like eating everything. General Hyman brought it out at some point, you know, the lies about again, coming back to the propaganda about Haitians eating cats. I think during the medieval times, right, during the Dark Ages, or was it during the plague? At some point, there's a famine going on. People used to eat their cats and their dogs. They used to eat their pets. They used to eat their pets. They used to eat rats. They used to eat mud, clay. They used to eat human flesh. You think you're not going to be on the menu for a starving white man? People used to eat leather. Your leather boots, they used to boil it and then eat it. They used to make bone soup. They used to dig up bone from graveyards and make soup. So you're going to need a man. You're hungry. That man could go get you some food. And you cook it. They not that white man though. That white man is gonna make you the food and cook you. He's not even gonna cook you. They eat raw flesh. You're going to need a man of the Lord in these hard, perilous times that are coming, because they are right on our doorstep. Listen, Canada said they're gonna send troops in Palestine just now. That's what they said. You know, they're ready for an impending famine. All the crops are dying out. They're not being bought. They're being, burnt. They're dying out. You understand? These are harsh times that we're living in. And the man is going to be the most precious thing that sister can. As a matter of fact, there was a time where it was then you're a death sentence for you to not have a man. The Bible tells you this, right? Let's go to Ecclesiastes. No, not Ecclesiastes. Isaiah 13 and 12. That's the one I was looking for. Isaiah chapter 13, verse 12, right? It says a man will be worth more than gold. This is what you're going to need in these last days. Isaiah chapter 13, verse 12. Salakia, let me share my screen. It says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold. Listen, a man is going to be more precious than these 12 figures bank account you're looking for. Whether your assets are frozen, your data is stolen, right? It don't matter. A man of the Lord will be more precious than fine gold. That's going to be your priority. Like, damn, you need protection. You need that. Your kids need protection. Who knows? Maybe you have a kid. You're going to need that man. Listen, it's going to be harsh. Y'all go watch these war movies. You see what happens when women are not protected. You're going to be like the easy target. Watch Animal Planet. Who they pick on first? Listen, they see a calf. They pick on the babies. They take on the female. They're not taking on the males who are the protectors of the herd. They're not. That's the riskiest thing for them to do. You understand? When you listen, go watch the documentaries. When these beasts are ready to breed, if you have children, they are unaliving your children, and then they get you ready to breed. And our oppressor is the wildest, most vile beast on the face of the earth. Imagine what he will do to you. Again, Isaiah 13 and 12 says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold. A man of the Lord is going to be more precious than fine gold. Even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. That's the time. The gold of Ophir, right, used to be a real high quality gold. That's what it was, right? A gold that's real pricey, something real precious. You will not be afford to be an independent woman in these last days. You won't afford that. You won't be able to. You won't. Salakia. You won't be able to. You can't play with what the Lord has in store for our enemies. And our enemies are going to be troubled. So troubled that they're going to resort to doing things that you may have thought that it could only happen in the movie. No, it's going to happen right here, right now. It's, all these prophecies must come to pass. It don't matter if it's tomorrow. It do not matter if it's in 5 to 10 years. We don't know. We have to live like Christ is coming back tomorrow, right? We have to make ourselves right now. The thing is, all these prophecies are coming to pass. All of them. There's not one prophecy that will not come to pass. We're seeing it right now. I think that you're going to need that man because all those prophecies will happen. All of them will happen. Let me get Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 2 real quick. Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 2, it says, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision. All these prophecies came as visions. Mind you that. And make it plain upon tables that he may run that readeth it. Verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. It's like Christ is coming back for an appointed time. We don't know when. The civil war is knocking on the door. It could be tomorrow. It could be in 2 days. It could be 5 years from now that the civil war pops up. You understand? Hey, shalom. So YAHANNA. What for tuning in, another one? We got to send you the link as usual. Let me just put it in the chat. Also, Matabar in the building. You understand? For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. It is inevitable. Everything that's prophesied in the Bible is inevitable. You know what else is inevitable? Our redemption, freedom, the last days of our captivity. Christ cracking the sky open. The nigger God sending the nigger king with 200 million nigger angels to free the niggers, the spicks, and the savages. That's what's inevitable. What must happen is all these wars, these plagues, these natural disasters that are prophesied in the Bible must all come to pass and happen before our deliverance. Again, it says what? For the vision is yet for an appointed time. There's no specific date. All we have is signs. Wars, rumors of wars, famines. What is it? The empire, you see signs of this empire collapsing. These plagues, these natural disasters, these forest fires. We're going to have to start breaking down everything. We're going to do a whole tape about breaking down the last days. Call it the last days on earth. Do a whole series. The point is, there's no time and date. What did people say? They were supposed to get raptured up. What is it? September 23rd or 24th? They're supposed to get raptured up. That's what they said. There's no specific date. It's not on the calendar to get raptured up. It's not on the calendar. Listen, you about to go sleep. Go have, go sleep with your woman. You'll get her raptured up. How about that? That's the only way you're gonna get raptured. The rapture, when you look at the definition of it, it's an orgasm. That's it. You're not getting up in the sky on a chariot. You're not being picked up, right? It's not a, listen, the chariot is not a Uber driver. It's not a chariot. There's no Uber chariot. You don't look at the time where, oh, he's coming to pick us up now. That's not how it happens. Just like in the times of Noah, there was an appointed time that the Lord says he's going to make it rain and not going to make it stop. He didn't tell Noah, listen, today is the day at 5:45 p.m. No. Tell Noah, get prepared, because when it happens, it happens. Well, y'all better get prepared and get a man, because when civil war happens, it happens. When the race war happens, you chose a white man because you thought that he runs the world. Well, that white man in the civil war is going to use you or misuse you in all types of ways. Whether he's going to, you in the kitchen, you'll be in the stirring pot. You understand? However, he's going to use you as a bargaining chip. You don't give a damn about us, these nations. You're going to need a black, Latino, or Native man in every black, Latino, and Native house. That's what's going to happen. Let me finish reading, yeah? For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. All these prophecies are coming to pass. That's how you know the Bible is true. The Most High is true to his word. It is not a fairy tale at all. Though it tarry, wait for it. You think you think you're waiting a long time? That's what you think. It's taking too long for Christ to come back. Maybe it's not going to happen. Commander General YAHANNA told you, there's a clip of Commanding General YAHANNA in 2014, if I'm not mistaken, saying Russia will take back Ukraine. Well, you had to wait, what, 10 years or 9 years for it to happen? Because it did not happen the next day or the next week? Since 1969, I've been telling you that. Since 1969. What? Y'all thought maybe the Bible wasn't real because in 2001 you didn't see Gog and Magog get together? You didn't see, you thought about peace in the Middle East was achieved? Good night. That's what y'all thought. Well, guess what? It says, though it tarry, wait for it. It is going to happen. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not in a year, maybe not 5 years from now. Listen, they might sign some type of treaty, and then someone just accidentally, or the Lord will put the spirit on someone and push that button. And then Ezekiel 38 says he will put hooks in the jaws of our enemies and they will go back to war. You can have all the peace talks that you want. It is prophesied that World War III will happen. You just wait for it. It's locking. Let's finish the verse. Because it will surely come, it will not tarry. It's not going to procrastinate. When the Most High, it is time for someone to push the button, it is time. The Most High is not working on your time. Just know that. You are living on his time. That's what's going on. You understand? Everything being prophesied in the Bible will happen. Now, when that day comes, when you see everybody rioting in these streets because white people are just tired of everybody, but guess what? Everybody's tired of white people. They have like multiple wars on their hands. They have race wars from all over the nation, all over the globe. They have civil wars. White people are tired of their government. Y'all thought it was just like in a movie. It was never going to happen. It is going to happen. We've seen they stormed the whole Capitol. Trump said, hey, Trump gave them the code and they stormed the Capitol. You know, white nationalists, we neo-Nazis throughout the globe are saying they need to make white people great again. Openly. Like, y'all don't understand. Y'all think it's just in the US that Trump had an effect of, you know, waking up white supremacists throughout the globe. Even Charlie Kirk passing away was like a wake-up call. He was the white man said Charlie Kirk died for their sins. He was the Messiah of white supremacy. France mourning him, the UK is mourning him, Australia is mourning him. Listen, white people, the most racist white people across the globe. He was the voice of the voiceless for these white racists. He was open about saying, you know, he was open about saying that he has issues with the rainbow community. He has issues with the immigrants. He has issues with black people. He said black people are better in slavery, you know, so on and so forth. Now that he died, he was their martyr. He was their Caesar Borgia. That's who he was. You understand? Everything that's prophesied in the Bible will happen. There's nothing you can do about it. I'm going to tell you what you should do, though. You should, as a black, Latino, and Native American Indian sister, a brother as well, a sister as well, come to class. Change your name. Do your 90 days. Pay your tithes. And in order for you to be protected, you're going to need to be under a man. Literally. You're going to be under your camp leader. You're going to need to be under your husband. You're going to. It is inevitable. The days of you thinking you're a proud, independent woman is long gone. It's been overdue. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's been overdue. Our sisters need to realize that the protection that they need is under a man, especially y'all Christians, stupid Christians who go to church. I have to call you dumb. That's the wisdom of the world, that you're above everything and the black woman is a queen or whatever nonsense they say. Y'all go to church and y'all don't read the Bible. Ephesians said this is the hierarchy. It gives you in the Ephesians, in 1 Corinthians, it gives you a hierarchy. Hierarchy is the Most High, is Christ, the man, the women. The women are going to be the children, of course, but you get the point. The woman is under the authority of a man, under the protection of a man. You understand? Let's go to 2nd Ezra's real quick. Let me show you what's about to happen that you're going to have to understand. This is why you need a man. Second Ezra 15. Let's start at verse 16. This is probably one of my favorite parts of the scriptures, because not only that we're seeing what's unfolding, but it's like, what is really going to happen to our people? I'm really talking about our people outside the truth, because it's like they decide to remain oblivious to these prophecies, despite the climate that they are witnessing through their eyes every day. What's going to happen to our people? How bad is it? How bad does it have to get before they actually step a foot in class? That's the lead. That's the first step. How bad does it really have to get? It's a rhetorical question, of course, because it's been bad and it keeps getting worse. Let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men. It's talking about civil unrest. That's what sedition is. Listen, civil war. Y'all, so-called, you love the neighbor that he's about to blast your head. That's the neighbor you say, God said, love my neighbor. Your neighbor is about to love you in a crock pot, because there's a famine coming and they can't get food. They don't know how to grow tomatoes like I do. You know, they're going to resort to eating their pets like they did before. And then when the pets is gone, they're going to resort to eating these unmarried women who claim that they are independent and don't need a man. And they're probably going to do disgusting things to them before they eat them. I ain't going to hold you. Why? Because our oppressor is a vile monster. That's why. 2nd Ezra 15 and 16. For they shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings or their princes. Listen, outside of Charlie Kirk, who white people claim to be the potential new president candidate, Trump got shot in the ear. They ran a car through the mayor's office in France. They just jumped a couple dozens police officers in the UK. There were 100,000 white people marching for white pride. They jumped all these police officers. Y'all are not ready for what's coming. If you think you're ready, you see all these nations, they do not care about the authority of this world. What makes you think you're going to be protected? The authority, the people who are perceived as the authority, right? To keep the peace, as they call it. To serve and protect, to protect and serve. Whichever goes first, right? I don't know with white people. They don't do either. The point is, they don't even respect the people that are put in position of authority. What makes you think you're going to be protected? What makes you think that you, independent woman, who might be able to handle a firearm, who might know how to, who might be a black belt in karate, Muay Thai, jiu-jitsu. Listen, nobody is safe. What makes you think you're safe when these police officers are not safe? What makes you think that you're safe? You're going to need a man to protect you, a man to be looking at what's that noise in the middle of the night. You're going to need a man of the Lord that's going to be worth more than gold. That's what you're going to need. You're not going to be able to afford, listen, he ain't got, he ain't got the 666. That's what they call it. They call it the 666. He's 6 foot. He got a 6-pack, and he's making 6 figures. Y'all never heard about that? Listen, women are crazy these days. They call it the 666. Well, tough luck. We're not, Salaki, we don't deal with luck. I don't want to say it like that, because we don't deal with luck. It's either the Lord is with us, the Lord is not with us, But you get the point. Lord be with you. That's what I'm just going to say this. Lord be with you. Let's say you do find that 666 man, right? I guarantee you, he's not a man of the Lord. He goes to church. He's probably getting pegged. Good night. You know, you're not going to be able to be protected. What you should want is just, you want a man of the Lord. It's are only found in the I.S.U.P.K. You already have a man. Oh, well, bring him into school. Because I guarantee you, the way his spirit is not the same as any of the brothers in the school. Now, don't leave him now and get your brother in school. No, just bring him into school, you know, and we'll raise him up to be a man of the Lord, a man that's worth more than gold, like Isaiah 13 and what? 13 and 12 says. You understand? Because listen, these times are perilous. It says they shall not regard their kings nor princes. They're not going to give a damn about the authority. They're not. And we've been seeing that. We've been seeing that. It's not new. What happened? I think it's in Colombia. They shot the president, the presidential candidate in Colombia. They unalived him, shot him in the neck. Good night. That the same happened with Charlie Kirk. Listen, I can make this up. I didn't even plan to say it like this. Both of these cats were shot in the neck, or potentially both president candidates. Good night. You cannot make this up. The Bible is a real book. Everything is coming to pass. Everything is happening. We just read, it doesn't matter how long it takes, it is bound to happen. Let's read it from the top. 2nd Ezra chapter 15 verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Don't you know they're not going to give a damn? They're going to be like, listen, you got to get it how you live. That's what's going to happen. If the world is in turmoil and there's no stability, they're going to have to get it how they live. You know, a person is the most unstable living being. Let them just not be happy about the government, and they stage a coup d'etat. In Spain, listen, Pablo Escobar learned how to bomb Colombia from the Spaniards. The French are known to riot. Tell the French that, you know, they're lowering the minimum wage or extending the age for retirement. They're burning the country down. Listen, right people riot for no reason. Just tell them no, and they riot. They're the most unstable human beings on the face of the earth. It says, and their course of their actions shall stand in their power. You think he's going to give it? These are the listen, we're the only people with morals. What do you think is going to happen when this prophecy comes to pass, which is about to tomorrow, or maybe in a week? What happens then? What are you going to do? You're going to find a new meaning to the black woman needs to be protected. The Latina woman needs to be protected. The Native woman needs to be protected. You're going to see that the man in the house should have never been kicked out in the first place. You're going to see that, you know what? That man that's right here in the house, you're not going to care if he plays video games all night. You're not going to care. You'll be like, damn, you're protected, and that's all that matters. That's all that's going to matter. Nothing else. Nothing else is going to matter when your life is in danger. When your children's life are in danger. You understand? Let's keep reading. Verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Yeah. People are going to be afraid to go and to leave a city. They're going to see, listen, y'all just imagine the state of panic where you're going to want to go in a city or leave a city. You're not going to be able to. The city is burning down. You might risk your life to go in a city. You're going to have to fight through a crowd. Who knows? Bombs might be dropping by then. We don't know. I mean, we know, but we don't know when specifically and what happens then. What are you going to do? You're going to leave your kids unattended in your house. Is that what you're going to do? Unprotected. For what? So you could pick an apple outside so they could eat? Is that what you're going to do? Well, guess what? Maybe you wouldn't have to leave the house if a man was there. You understand? What he could provide. Maybe you wouldn't have to do that. When, I think, for lack of better words, when shit hits the fan, right? You can't, what did it say? You can't be too difficult. Like, yo, listen, you don't want a man because you're tired of, man and shit, and you're tired and you rather risk it yourself. No sweat. Well, let's see if you keep that same energy when civil unrest starts. Literally, not just a rumor of it, not just catching the wind of it, but when you see it actually happens. When you see that happening, let's see if you keep that same energy. If you do, well, damn, Lord be with you. I guess, yeah, they're taking a chance. But if you don't want to do it for you, do it for the kids. Don't they need protection? Shouldn't they deserve to be protected and not be harmed? Which is one of the main reasons why a lot of y'all have been conditioned. It's not even for you. It's not even for the kids. It's for you. You told, listen, have that abortion. Leave that man because, he's not adding to you, value to you, or whatever nonsense our sister's been brainwashed with. Have that abortion because you won't be able to have a career or have a life if you have babies. You're taught to be selfish. Well, don't think about you if you have kids. Think about the children who need some protection. Think about that for a second. Yeah? Verse 18. And for those who don't have kids, it don't matter. Listen, you're going to need a man of the Lord in these last days. It's going to be, wait till you witness it. Listen, how bad it needs to get, you probably need to witness something crazy happening in front of you, which you really are not ready for. You might see images of what's going on around Palestine and Ukraine and thinking, well, it's shocking. Imagine when it happens right in front of your face and tell me how shocking that is. Let's keep reading. 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 18. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed and men shall be afraid. Lord be with y'all sisters who are independent women. Lord be with y'all sisters who are feminists. Lord be with y'all. Listen, I guarantee you the bull daggers. Now, I'm not sure if I can say that. I guarantee you the what's the word we could say? Listen, damn, I forgot the word. I guarantee you the studs are gonna factory reset themselves and gonna look for a man. Yeah, it's a lot here. For lack of better words, do not clip us, YouTube. But I guarantee you this: the studs will be so afraid that they will factory reset them. That's what's gonna happen. They're gonna realize, well, listen, they are not the men that you need. They never were. They never could have been. They need a real man, a biologically born man. That's what they're gonna need as well. I mean, there are women too who need protection. They're gonna realize, yeah, you know what? Cut the fake beard off, that little eyelash they put on their chin to appear masculine. They're gonna throw the toys away. And they're gonna embrace their femininity. That's what's going to happen. Listen, the studs. What is it? Studs' lives matter. They're gonna realize that, they need a man too. They need protection. That's what's going to happen. When you see people breaking into houses and stealing from each other right before the other wars. It doesn't matter which one. And when you see that happen right in front of you, right next door, you hear the families next door screaming, yelling for help. And you realize, well, damn, you're the one this happening to you, but you realize you're vulnerable. Why? Because as you read in Mark, was it Mark 13? Mark 3 and 27. Let's get Mark 3 and 27 again real quick. Because you realize in Mark, like Mark, it says in Mark 3 and 27, no man can enter to a strong man's house. You realize you're vulnerable because there's no strong man in the house. And spoil his goods. Don't you know that when a man beget a wife, he got a possession? Don't you know that? What do a man wants to do with his possession? Cherish it, protect it, make sure it's all right. You know, like damn near the apple of his eye. You understand? Listen, you think having a man is just about what? Providing box for him? No. He's there to protect you. He's gonna cherish you. You understand? But you're gonna realize in that day when you hear all those screams outside, the neighbors yelling, these single women, you're gonna realize what? That there is no strong man in the house. You realize that you might be next. That you're vulnerable. Why? Because there's no strong man in the house. Good night. There is no man at all. You understand? Let's go back to 2nd Ezra's 15 and 18. I'm going to end the class in a minute. Let me put the sign out link in the chat. Y'all make sure y'all click on the sign in and sign out links at the beginning and the end of the class. You understand? Click on the links. Come to the school. Do your 90 days. Get your Hebrew name. Pay your tithes. Make sure you click on the signing and sign out link in the class. Right? 2nd Ezra 15 and 18. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. I don't care how gangster you are. I don't give a damn. Imagine seeing a loved one's life being taken away from you right in front of your eyes. Imagine losing your home. Imagine that. And there's nothing you could do about it. Nothing. Everybody shall be afraid. Matter of fact, we're going to need brotherhood like never before. What is it? Proverbs 17 and 17 says, a friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born in adversity. Listen, these days of adversity are right on our doorsteps. Right here, right now. It's time for you how to love one another, because you're going to need that brotherhood. You're going to. And brotherhood is synonymous with sisterhood. You're going to need that. Let's keep reading. Verse 19. 2nd Ezra chapter 15 verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. Listen, we're not making this up. We want to watch these movies with civil unrest, with the quote unquote end of the world, whatever the case is. Go ahead, just get you mentally prepared. And just imagine, make all types of scenario to imagine what might happen. Because it will happen. Y'all seen The Walking Dead? Y'all watch The Walking Dead. You see people having no pity for one another, stealing from each other, food, goods, ammunition, or whatever the case is, and they leave you stranded for death, surrounded by zombies. The point is, they will leave you stranded for dead here as well, surrounded by danger. That's the point. You understand? Sis, you're going to need a man. That same man that you say, well, he ain't shit. Why? Because that's what my friend told me. Who? Your single friend. Good night. She needs a man too. Matter of fact, y'all go share the same man. He could have multiple wives. Both of y'all need protection. Yeah. Y'all even won't be able to afford that stupid argument. The point is, listen, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. That's the scenario I just gave you. It will happen. People will not care about who's next door. They will not care about, oh, it's a unprotected woman with children or not. If they need something that you have, they will try to take it. And again, in Mark chapter 3, verse 27, it says, no man can enter to a strong man's house. You will need a man. You will need a strong man to protect you. You need a strong man to defend you and the children and everything you have. There's no man like that outside the I.S.U.P.K. None. No matter how often they go to the gym, no matter how good of a shot they are at the shooting range, it don't matter if they know how to hunt with their bare hands. It don't matter if they're like Kevin Gates and know how to start a battery car with their bare hands. It don't matter. Salakia. You're going to need a man of the Lord. That's what you're going to need. A man that's more precious than fine gold. That's what you're going to need, sis. Let's read it again. 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 19. Salakia. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods. You understand? Because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. These people are going to starve to death and be like, listen, they're going to have no choice. They're going to feel like they have no, how do they say it in the South? They say, they get it how you live. You know how our oppressor lives? With no morals, with no regards for old, young, frail, weak, strong. He don't give a damn. Listen, our oppressor, if you have a heartbeat, if you have some blood flow, you are on the menu. You are on the list. You are on the grocery list for our oppressor. And for all of them, the Africans is the same. You understand? That's how it's going to be in these days. And there's nothing you can do about it but to come to class, to click on the sign in and sign out links, to do your 90 days, to pay your tithes, to get you a Hebrew name, to get you a man, sis, of the Lord. You understand? That's what you're going to need to do. You're going to have no choice. Because these days are coming. Right at our doorsteps. You understand? And that's what's going to happen. You will need protection. Your children will need protection. And if you refuse that, I mean, man, you're doing yourself and your children a disservice. Because who's going to protect them? You will not be able to. Look at the nature of our oppressor. Look at how they are. And tell me if you would be able to protect yourself against an animal that only has the option to fight or flight, and there's nowhere for him to go. We're jumping on to verse 20. It's like we got to start right here. About to end the class. Salakia. We started a bit late. Why? Because the oppressor is the goddamn devil the Bible speaks of. We're going to get the security announcements. Just know this. Sis, you'll need a man. You understand? You want to fight against it? I mean, Lord be with you if that's the case. But For those who understand and realize the times that we're in, these perilous times that we're in, come to class. It is time like never before to come to class. It's time to wake up. As a matter of fact, let's get that last precept real quick, right? Salakia. Let's get that last precept that it's time to wake up. Bear with me 1 second. Let's go to Romans chapter 13, verse 11. We're going to close out with this. In the book of Romans chapter 13, verse 11. Let me share my screen. This is the book of Romans chapter 13, verse 11. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. A lot of y'all talking about y'all woke. Y'all really asleep. Y'all smoking all the weed in the world, and then y'all falling asleep on all the lies and the American dream and whatever nonsense. Don't you know that to be able to dream, you have to be asleep? Don't you know that? Right now, it's time for you to come to class. It's time for you to awake from that deep slumber that you're in. It's time for you to awake from that dream or nightmare that you're having. It's high time. It's right now. You understand? So Manabar is joining us. Hey, Shalom. Salaki, we're about to end it. Now, no swear one. Do you want to chime in real quick?
Now you go ahead and finish it up. You say you about to end it. You can finish it up. I'll catch you next week.
Kawakan, sir. So you understand, this is the last piece that we're going to end it with. Right now, it's high time for you to wake up and come to class. To reject all these ideologies that you adopted from the white man. The Bible is not a white man's book. Sis, the black man, he is the shit. You understand? These Latino men, they are the shit. These native men, they are the shit. You need them more than you think. And you're going to realize that in these last days that we're in. You understand? Let's finish reading. And we're going to end it. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. Y'all want to talk about the rapture? It's crazy. Listen, Christ is coming back sooner than we think. All these world events, these catastrophes, natural disasters, turmoils, civil war, rumors of world war, whatever the case is right here. All these signs which are announcing Christ coming back and delivering us from a captivity are right there. No matter if it's in a week, in a month, in 2 years. Our captivity is coming at an end. And it's time for you to wake up, to come to class. It's always been time for you to pay your tithes. Do your 90 days, get your Hebrew name, and be protected. Be ready for when Christ comes back. Rehearse the righteous act. What does it say in Luke? Make the crooked straight again. You understand? It's not whenever you feel like it, whenever you're ready. It's right now. So like we're going to end it right here. Do you have anything you want to say before we end it?
Make sure you pay your tithes. Make sure you subscribe to all the I.S.U.P.K channels.
Damn right. And you just reminded me a quick announcement. You understand? The Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge under Commander John YAHANNA will be in Dominican Republic from tomorrow, September 26th to October 5th. You understand? We'll be teaching the truth, waking up our brothers and sisters on the island of Hispaniola, the Simeonites who are the Dominicans and the Levites who are the Haitians. We'll also be doing a clothing drive to provide clothing to our people who are in need, that the church do not give a damn about, that the Red Cross do not give a damn about, that Donald Trump, who claims to love everybody, do not give a damn about. You understand? So next week we won't be having class because I myself will be there from October 2nd to October 5th. We might do a rerun, but we'll be back then. Do the French class we'll be back on Thursday, October 9th. Again, pay your tithes. Come to class. Support the school, support the work of the Lord, because it's time like never before. And sis, Lord be with you if you don't want to get a man, but that's all I gotta leave with that one. Salakia. With that said, I'm gonna get a security announcement. I'm gonna call the class. To watch for everybody who tuned in. Shalom. This is the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. Rule from your brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18 verse 21 and Malachi chapter 3 verse 8 to 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the Treasury Department a teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests non mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocation, we have the Day of Atonement coming up, which is the 10th day of the 7th month, which falls on Tuesday, next Tuesday, September 30th. You can read more about it in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 27 to 32. Remind Akim and Aquatin to check the bulletin board in the hallway of their school if they have a physical location. If anyone wants to be if any brother wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. But that's it. We'll give a courtesy salute to the brothers and a courtesy salute to the sisters. Menavisual Imajim, which means to stand. We'll give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Menavisual Imajim Shabbat. Imajim Barak. Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Barakatham, meaning Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, bless y'all. Yad Yamata, which means hands down. Sar, which means to turn. Turn if his sisters will give him a courtesy salute as well. Menavisual Imajim Shabbat. Imajim Barak. Shalom Yahweh Shamar. Alatan Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Being Yahweh, watch over y'all in the name of Yahweh Shai. Yad Yamata, which means hands down, class dismissed.
Warning. Say this from me heart on a rum chat. Here we gun talk, get your gunshot. Make the sun dark and the ground black. We plant calm but I never agriculture. I know the eagle in the younger, the eagle when young people that are the vulture. Say them even never the vulture. They could have run pan diesel that a people drive. Away the blood clot. Do some gun back. Away the blood clot. Do some gun back. Easy we coulda speech it inna the Honda. Sleepy gunshot beat him inna him slumber. Greedy fi make them dopey a the younger. Glad say me nah pre when me the younger. That no mean say no pussy can try. Pussy try run up and give with them life. Can't see penalty give with 3 points. This one West boy you must see one die. Away the blood clot. Some gun back. Away the blood clot. Do some gun back. Don't stop war with we. You will see, you'll see. My dark them are real. Better agree. Stop while we you will see, my dark.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West.